Good morning, dear students. We had been reading the chapter Bipin Babu's Lapse of Memory. I had already explained you the first part of the story. So far, we read Mr. Uh, Parimal Ghosh meets Bipin Babu and tells him about his Ranchi trip, which Bipin Babu does not remember at all. But Parimal Ghosh insists that it's true. Then he tells a lot of small details about the trip, telling that he even told him about his family, his wife's death, and his brother's um, illness and his death. So those small personal detail also he told. But even then, Bipin Babu was not willing to accept he is telling the truth. So finally, Bipin Babu, who was in the market in the bookstore at that time, he paid for the book and leaves the shop. Now moving to the second part. Bipin Babu's car was safely parked in Bertram Street by the Lighthouse Cinema. He parked his car there beside the Lighthouse Cinema. He told the driver as he got into the car, "Just drive by the Ganga, will you, Sitaram?" He asked the driver Sitaram just to drive beside River Ganga. Driving up the Strand Road, Bipin Babu regretted having paid so much attention to the intruder. He was regretting why he had paid so much attention to that person. He should not have listened to him. He had never been to Ranchi, no question about it. It was inconceivable that he should forget such an incident which took place only 6 or 7 years ago. So, how is it possible? If it had happened 6-7 years ago, how can he forget that? He had an excellent memory, unless now Bipin Babu's head reeled, means he was feeling unwell. He thought, was he losing his mind? But how could that be? Was he losing his memory? But how? He was working daily in his office. It was a big firm, a big company, and he was doing a responsible job. He was not aware of anything ever going seriously wrong. Nothing has gone wrong so far. Only today he spoke for half an hour at the important meeting. Even today only, one important meeting, he spoke for half an hour. And yet the man knew a great deal about him. How? But still, that's the question, how that man knows so many things about him. He even seemed to know some intimate details, some very personal details. The bag of books, wife's death, brother's insanity, illness, madness. The only mistake was about his having gone to Ranchi. Everything else he was telling was truth. But my going to Ranchi, that's the mistake he was making. Not a mistake, a deliberate lie. I think he was deliberately telling a lie. It means knowingly he was telling a lie. In 1958, during the pujas, means October month, Navratri pujas, he was in Kanpur at his friend Haridas Bagchi's place. All Bipin Babu had to do was to write to. No, there was no way of writing Haridas. First he thought he should write a letter to Haridas, but no way of writing to Haridas, because Bipin Babu suddenly remembered that Haridas had left with his wife for Japan some weeks ago, and he didn't have his address. Okay, so he cannot write letter to him. But where was the need for proof? Why should he want the proof? He himself was fully aware that he had not been to Ranchi, and that was that. That's all. He was sure he had never been to Ranchi, so why he is looking for proof? The river breeze was bracing, and yet a slight discomfort lingered in Bipin Babu's mind. beside Ganga river. Cool breeze, cool wind was blowing it, which was very comforting, but Bipin Babu was not comfortable. Around Hastings, Bipin Babu decided to roll up his trousers and take a look at his right knee. When he reached at the place called Hastings, he just decided to check his right knee. As told by Parmal Ghosh, he fell down in Ranchi and cut his knee, so he decided to check it. And when he did that, there was the mark of an old 1 inch long cut. It was there. It was impossible to tell when the journey had occurred. He did not remember how he got this, but it was there. He had never had a fall as a boy and cut his knee. He did not remember. As a boy, he might have had a fall and cut his knee. He tried to recall such an incident, but he could not remember anything. Then Bipin Babu suddenly thought of Dinesh Mukherjee. The man had said that Dinesh was in Ranchi at the same time. The best thing surely would be to ask him. He can confirm with Dinesh. He lived quite near in Bani Nandan Street. What about going right now? If I go there right now? No, but then if he had really never been to Ranchi, what would Dinesh think? If Bipin Babu asked for a confirmation, he would probably think that Bipin Babu was going nuts, going mad. No, it would be ridiculous. It would not be good to ask him. First he thought to ask Dinesh, but then he thought, he would make fun of me. If it happens true and I don't remember, he will think that I'm going mad. So he ignored the idea. And he knew how ruthless Dinesh's sarcasm could be. He knew that Dinesh's behavior, he can make fun of me. Ruthless means how cruel, straightforward. Sarcasm means mocking, making fun. So he dropped that idea. Sipping a cold drink in his air-conditioned living room, Bipin Babu felt at ease again. When he reached home, his AC room, he felt a little comfortable again. Such a nuisance, just because they have nothing else to do. They got about getting into other people's hair. He thought about the man Paimal Ghosh, what type of man, how he is only creating problem because he doesn't have anything else to do, so he is getting details and trying to trouble me. That's all. After dinner, snuggling in bed with one of the new thrillers which he got, novels, he got into his bed. Then he forgot all about the man in New Market. Next day in office, Bipin Babu noticed that with every passing hour, the previous day's encounter was occupying more and more of his mind. Again and again, those thoughts were coming back. If the man knew so much about Bipin Babu, how could he make such a big stake about the Ranchi trip? Now he was thinking again. Just before lunch, Bipin Babu decided to ring up Dinesh Mukherjee, to call Dinesh Mukherjee. It was better to settle the question over the phone, he thought. At least the embarrassment on his face would not show. The shame, the embarrassment would not show on the phone. So he thought, let's call Dinesh Mukherjee. He dialed number 235616. He dialed the number. Phone was picked. Hello, is that Dinesh? This is Bipin here. Well, what's news? I just wanted to find out if you recalled an incident which took place in 58. Bipin Babu asked. I wanted to know if you remember any incident took place in 1958. 58? What incident? Were you in Calcutta right through that year? That's the first thing I have got to know. Bipin Babu asked indirectly. He did not ask directly the question. So he was asking, were you in Calcutta the whole year that time? Wait just a minute. 58. Let me check in my diary. Dinesh Mukherjee said. For a minute there was a silence. Bipin Babu could feel that his heartbeat had gone up. What answer he is going to give? He was sweating a bit because of nervousness. Hello, now he was back. Yes, I've got it. I had been out twice, 2 times. I was out of Calcutta. Where? He asked. Once in February nearby to Krishnanagar to a nephew's wedding, and then but you would know about that. This one, the trip to Ranchi, you were there too. That's all. But what is all this sleuthing about? Why are you asking this? Now he said, K, the second time I went to Ranchi, so you should also know because you were also there. So why are you asking? No, I just wanted to. Anyway, thanks. Now Bipin Babu slammed the receiver down, put the phone down, and gripped his head with his hands. He felt his head swinging. A chill seemed to spread over his body. He was shivering. There were sandwiches in his tiffin box, but he did not eat them. He had lost his appetite. That day, he had lost his hunger because now he was sure. Even his friend Dinesh Mukherjee also confirmed he had been to Ranchi. He was also with him. Now that made things or even more problematic. Now the second part gets over here. We would be continuing with the third part in next video. That's all for now. Thank you. Bye bye.